Some heartbreaks don't happen in explosions. They happen quietly, in the glow of a phone screen, in the silence between breaths, in the moment someone reads the words that were never meant for their eyes. And for Faye, it all started with one message. One message that Koko forgot to delete. One message that changed everything. This is how a love she thought was unshakable began to fall apart, in the softest, most devastating way. Faye had always trusted Koko. Not blindly, not foolishly, but with the kind of trust that grows slowly, carefully, after being watered with consistency, kindness, and the small everyday gestures that make you believe someone is truly yours. Koko had been her safe place, her laughter when the world felt heavy, her warmth when loneliness tried to swallow her whole, her reason to keep believing in something as fragile and unpredictable as love. But trust is a delicate thing. It can take years to build, and only one moment, one message, to shatter. It happened on a Wednesday, a quiet, unremarkable Wednesday, that should have passed like any other. The kind where nothing special happens, nothing dramatic, nothing life-changing. But life rarely warns you before it hurts you. Koko had left his phone on the couch, screen facing up. He went to shower, humming softly, believing the world was perfectly in place. He didn't know what he had forgotten. He didn't know what was about to happen. He didn't know this day would mark a before and after. In their story, Faye wasn't suspicious. She wasn't snooping or searching, or digging for ugly truths. She never wanted to find. All she did was hear the vibration. One simple vibration. A message notification lighting up the screen. And there it was. Bold. Clear. Undeniable. A name she didn't recognize. A sentence she wasn't supposed to see. A truth that was never meant to reach her eyes. But it did. Her breath caught. Not in anger. Not in rage. In something far worse. Confusion. Confusion that felt like a knife turning slowly. Not to kill, but to wound. Deeply. Quietly. Irreversibly. She picked up the phone. Her hands weren't trembling yet. Her heartbeat was still steady. Her mind was still trying to make sense of what she saw. Because the message wasn't explicit. It wasn't ugly. It wasn't scandalous in the way gossip imagines. No, it was worse. It was tender, intimate, soft in a way that belonged to lovers. Soft in a way that had once belonged to her. The message read, "I missed last night. I didn't want it to end." 9 words. Only 9. But some words don't need to be long to destroy something precious. Faye stood there frozen. Her thoughts spiraled in every direction. Yet none of them made sense. Her mind tried to rationalize. Maybe it meant nothing. Maybe it was work-related. Maybe she was misunderstanding. But her heart knew better. He wouldn't hide a message. That meant nothing. He wouldn't lock his phone with a new password. For nothing. He wouldn't come home distracted, distant. For no reason at all. Still, she wanted to believe. She wanted an explanation. She wanted this to be something small. That her mind was blowing out of proportion. But then she scrolled. And reality hit her harder than any nightmare. There wasn't just one message. There were months of them. Deleted screenshots. Conversations cut into fragments. Pieces of a truth carefully hidden. But never fully erased. Because Koko forgot one thing. Deleting messages doesn't delete the silence you create in someone's heart. The tone was unmistakable. Gentle, personal, familiar. A language 2 people only speak. When boundaries have already been crossed. Faye didn't collapse. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just stood there. Still. Quiet. Hollow. It's strange how the body reacts when the heart breaks. Sometimes you don't feel pain immediately. Sometimes you feel nothing. A numbness that protects you. Just long enough to stop you from falling apart on the spot. This was that numbness. When Koko stepped out of the shower, he expected to find her smiling. Maybe teasing him. Maybe waiting for him on the couch. He didn't expect to see her holding his phone. He didn't expect the silence. He didn't expect the look on her face. A look not of accusation, but of deep, aching disappointment. Disappointment hurts more than anger. It cuts deeper. It says, "I believed in you. I trusted you. You let me down." He froze. He knew instantly. He didn't need to ask what she saw. Some truths don't need explanations. They hang in the air, heavy and undeniable. Faye didn't speak first. Not because she didn't have questions, but because she feared the answers. The truth she read was painful enough. Hearing it aloud might break her completely. So she waited. Calm. Quiet. Holding back the storm inside her. Koko, on the other hand, felt panic rise. Real panic. The kind that comes when you realize you might lose the one person you never intended to hurt. His voice trembled. He began explaining. Justifying. Backtracking. Trying to make something terrible sound smaller than it truly was. But Faye heard none of it. Not really. Her mind was somewhere else. In the memories of everything they shared. Every laugh. Every night spent talking until sunrise. Every dream they whispered to each other. Every moment she believed. Them against the world. And all she could think was, how did we get here? The worst part wasn't the betrayal itself. It was discovering that the person she loved had been living a double reality. One with her. One with someone else. She felt herself drifting. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Away from him. Away from the home she thought she had in him. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't insult him. She didn't fall apart. Instead, she said something that scared him more than any explosion of anger ever could. She whispered, with a steady, heartbreaking calm, I just needed honesty. Honesty. The one thing he withheld. The one thing she deserved. The one thing that would have saved them. Before they reached this point, Koko broke. He tried to take her hand. She stepped back. Not aggressively. Just enough to say, I can't do this right now. Those words pierced him. Because he realized, this wasn't the kind of pain flowers could fix. Or apologies. Or promises whispered in the dark. This was the kind of pain that changes people. That marks them. That teaches them to build walls. Where there used to be open doors. Faye left the house that night. Not in dramatic rage. Not slamming doors. Not making a scene. She left quietly. The same way trust leaves a relationship. After being betrayed. Silently. Softly. Completely. She didn't know where she was going. She just knew staying there, with a heart that felt like cracked glass, was impossible. As she walked, she finally felt the tears she had been holding back. They came slowly at first. Then all at once. Falling like rain. In the middle of a storm she didn't deserve. Koko watched her go. And for the first time in a long time, he felt what it was like. To be truly afraid. Not afraid of losing a relationship, but afraid of losing the one person whose love made him better. Softer. Warmer. Real. He stood there, feeling helpless. Feeling guilty. Feeling the weight of his actions. Crush him from the inside. Some mistakes are loud. Others are quiet. But the consequences are always heavy. And this consequence might cost him everything. The following days felt unreal for Faye. She moved through her routine, with a heart that beat slower, heavier, as though carrying the memory of words she never wanted to read.